This might be one of the most requested games I've ever had to play on the whole of the channel. This is Space Haven. Hello everybody, welcome. If you're thinking, finally, something on the main channel that isn't RimWorld, there. I won't lie. I'll address it immediately. It's very similar to RimWorld. I'll try and not make the comparison too much, I promise, as we play here. But if you like RimWorld, you'll almost certainly like Space Haven. Unlike RimWorld, which is a planet-based colony simulator, Space Haven is a colony simulator in space. It's about the journey. It's about the travel. You are focusing on building the spaceship and life aboard a spaceship and traveling throughout a galaxy, essentially, rather than the planet side of things. But I won't lie to you. I've only played this game very briefly, and I think it's very clear to see what they were inspired by. And I'm pretty sure that was probably RimWorld. Now, worth noting immediately here, as you can see in the top right-hand corner, this is Alpha 12. So this is an early release of the game. It is currently early access on Steam. But my god, does it look cool. Like, this looks incredible. And the next update, too, I just had a quick read-through of that on the Steam patch notes. They've got a lot planned for this, and it looks very, very cool. Hauling bots, logistics bots, big spaceship designs. This is gonna be pretty good, I think. Now, I haven't played very much of this, kind of specifically so that, mainly because I don't have time, but kind of because I want to include the tutorial in an episode, so that those of you in a similar boat to me who haven't played this game, who haven't experienced anything of this game, can hopefully learn as I learn, but I'll cut out all the bits where I make mistakes, and then you'll think I'm really good at games. Now, obviously, I showed this off very, very briefly on the channel rebrand video I put up a couple of days ago. And although I was only playing kind of everything in that to have it as kind of a haha funny meme video so that it wasn't just an announcement video, when I loaded this up, I wasn't expecting it to be as appealing as it looked at a brief kind of glance. So again, I think if you enjoy RimWorld, you're very much going to enjoy Space Haven. So we're going to go for this one here. Game mode, we're going to go for normal. You can start with either a basic platform or advanced mining station. We're going to go for normal here, and we're going to go for the basic platform because it says that this one allows us to learn the basic game mechanics. Difficulty and seed will just go maybe medium. You're not going to learn anything on peaceful. Maybe builder, maybe medium. Let's go builder then. A big part of the difference does seem to be the actual resources here. Resources, weapons, that type of thing. Okay, well, let's go for builder difficulty then. You can see our starting sector's resources. I assume that on higher difficulties, that might be slightly different. Oh, no, it seems to start with the similar things. Okay, fair enough. I don't know enough about the game to actually comment on any of this quite yet. You see that there's all sorts of hints of what you might be up against. We've got lots of asteroids here. Alien presence, solar flares, micro-meteoroids, siren worlds, whatever that is. That sounds horrifying. I'm in. And finally, we've got our colonists or crew members. I apologize up front if I keep calling them colonists here. You can see our skills that we're going to have to deal with throughout the game. And this is, I guess, the sum total of everybody that we've got on board right now. 1 piloting, 3 mining, 3 botany, 2 construction, 3 industry, 2 medical, 2 gunner, 2 shielding, 3 operations, 2 weapons, 3 navigation, and 3 research. Now, I assume when they say things like maybe gunner and shielding, what they're not referring to is their personal ability to, say, handle weapons, but maybe operating the weapons on the spaceship that we end up building. I'd assume so anyway. I'm not that familiar with things. Now, we can customize our people here. We can randomize them. It gives them the random backstory, both before the apocalypse and after the apocalypse. And then you can see their attributes and some of the other stats here. 135% working speed this guy has, for example. Base recovery, slightly higher learning, things like that. So why don't we roll a few characters here and see if we've got any kind of inspiring looking guys. Yeah, I think I'm fairly happy with that one. So up front, we've got Gristle, the chemical engineer. Her trait is nyctophilia. So when it says 10% working speed, it means she gains 10% working speed, not that she has overall 10% working speed. So we've got these attributes here, which I guess are more of a personal thing. Brave, zest, intelligence, and perception. She's got very high intelligence and perception, but terrible bravery and zest. 65% accuracy, minus 10% accident. Oh, because she's got lower perception. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so they have these kind of character... What's the best way to describe it? Well, attributes. I was actually going to say attributes, and it's right there. She's an engineer by trade. Good at industry, good at operations, a little bit good at research and medical too there because of the chemical aspect to that. Now, overall for our team skills, just because we can see it right there, our piloting is pretty terrible, but everything else is either 2 or 3. As far as I know, skills only go up to 3. So we're basically good for everything besides piloting. That's okay. I'm an expert pilot. The ship's never going to crash. Then we have Old Fat Larry, the construction laborer turned clumsy oaf, 12% accident chance. He's got some pretty nice skills all around, though. Much better than Gristle. Also, I should say attributes, sorry. 2 bravery, 3 zest, 2 intelligence, and 5 perception is very, very nice. 114% working speed, and he has 3 construction and 3 navigation. I wonder if navigation at all plays into piloting, or whether that's just purely the, I don't know, I guess the mapping aspect of things, right? We won't worry too much about these skills, because I can only speculate what we do. We've then got Sherwood Forest, the telemarketer, turned... Oh dear, that doesn't sound good at all. So his overall mood is down by 10, but he's 20% less likely to surrender? I guess that's a good thing. Yeah, look, the higher the bravery, or is it the higher your bravery, the less chance you've got to surrender? Yeah, I thought it would be. Right, so for every point of bravery, you get minus 5% to the chance of surrendering. This guy gets minus 25 overall. I suppose that could be a good thing. He's got a zest for life despite that, so maybe he's very optimistic to be up in space, despite all the things that happened to him. 5 perception there as well. He is our gardener and also good at shielding. Bit of a mixed bag. And then finally we have Susan the Beast, a security guard turned neurotic control freak. She loses 15% of her working speed because she is so anxious and I guess so fickle about what she's doing there. But 20% bonus to her learning, which is incredibly good. 5 bravery, 5 perception. She is very good at botany, much like Sherwood Forest. But unlike Sherwood Forest, she's the muscle of the operation here. 3 gunnery, 3 weapons. If ever we're boarded, they're going to be up against Susan the Beast. Is only having 1 piloting going to be a problem? I'll be honest. We might not survive enough to build a ship. So it might be a problem that, you know, solves itself. Here we are then. Wowee. So the blue box up here is going to be our tutorial, so we'll just go through that, I guess, over the course of today and see if we can figure out exactly what the hell's going on. Welcome to Space Haven. Can I pause it? Is that okay? Welcome to Space Haven. Hello, Spacefarer, and welcome to Space Haven. Follow the upcoming blue objective notification to be guided through all the basics of assembling a working ship. Your crew will follow a schedule, and the icon above their heads will tell you what they are currently doing, working, sleeping, or taking some free time to look after themselves. All 3 are necessary, so let them work at their own pace, and you'll soon see your ship come to life. If you find yourself struggling with resource at first, don't be afraid to start a new game and modify your starting resources. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, then. So let's take a look around the interface first before we start on the tutorial. It's got this kind of isometric look. I actually kind of like it. The closer levels gets a little pixelated, but that's obviously just the art design they've gone for there. It's kind of cool. And I assume the cog above them next to their name there shows that they are working. Of course, we can see that up on the bar at the top. So we'll start on the top left and we'll work over from there. So firstly, we got the star map. The brief bit I've played, this really did draw me in. This seems quite cool. Seems like we've got a quite active, open galaxy to get out there and explore with all sorts of different threats and different dangers associated. We've got a pirate coalition there, a Baron of the Frontier, we've got a safe system, and all sorts of strange things. I wonder if eventually we can take over and control our own system. Maybe with the goal of take over the whole map. We've got an android collective over there. That doesn't seem like it's particularly friendly. We won't worry about this quite yet. This is something for the future, but you can see there what we need to actually jump to all these different systems and explore around. We've then got the colony management, or so I should say the crew management here. Now, this might look a little confusing at first glance, but it's very similar to the RimWorld work system as well. So you've got the priorities, except instead of a numerical system, it's represented by arrows instead. So you can see that all the kind of pips by the bar over. So for Old Fat Larry, for example, his highest priority jobs are navigation, construction, and maintenance. I assume this is automatically set up based on their skill set, but you might want to, say, for example, you've got a larger ship, you might want to have a lot of people on botany to be able to feed everybody, for example, or in time of emergency, get everybody on medical. I don't know enough about the game balance quite yet to make an informed assessment with this, so we'll just leave it how it is for the time being, experiment round as we play on with that. We've also got the crew schedule, which, again, I'm sure looks very, very familiar. Work being blue, free time being yellow, and then sleep being red. What does this do? Let's just copy and paste settings to other people. Oh, very nice. This one here, I assume, is just focus. Yeah, center the camera on that person. Okay. Kind of nice if you can center on them without it closing the screen, but that's all right. And then we've got these ships. Look at this then. So we can have a fleet. You're winning me over, Space Haven. Very fast you're winning me over here. Oh, that's cool. So they can work on derelict ships. They'll relax on the HSS Ophelia, which is our starting kind of this thing here. You can kind of see the outside of it. It's a bit more of a space station right now, I guess, a dry dock, rather than a spaceship, but maybe not for long. So they work here, and this is also set as their home. This third menu is our systems. This shows what we've got going on. So for colonists, we've got 3 crafts in the hangar. So we've got 2 mining vessels here and I think they're mining vessels, aren't they? Mining pods or something like that. And then a kind of a shuttlecraft for us to go out and gather things from, I assume, derelict ships and stuff like that. That is our mass, I would assume, or things that we've got aboard this ship. Maybe it's in red because we don't have propulsion enough to push this ship around, which would make sense because we haven't got any propulsion whatsoever. I know what this one is. Hyperjump 0. Oh, how many, well, hyperjumps you can do with the fuel you've got, I assume. Very cool. And there's our total fleet size. Oh man, I love the idea. We could give like everybody a separate ship. We could go for one big destroyer. We could go for like a mixed bag. That sounds kind of fun. And then these are all of our systems because we haven't got any systems set up quite yet. Shields we can set to full time. Occupy console for all of their work schedule or forced. So make them do it until it's otherwise stopped. Yeah, there you are. Until exhaustion or ignore their leisure and sleep activities. Okay, that's kind of fun. So if we're under like a big combat system or there's some sort of emergency, we can have those set up there. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, well, we'll keep on auto system readiness then and let the kind of game take over, at least until we know what we're doing a little bit more. So our fourth menu here, even though it says the attack systems view, it seems to be more about the kind of, the ship fine details, for lack of a better word. Firstly, we can build a new ship, which is cool. We won't worry about that for the time being. So we can change the view between, say, fleet or a specific ship. If we then click this button up here, you can see kind of a ship readout here. So our ship's unstable, the hull is damaged. If we try and hyperspace, it'll rip it apart. That might be fun to try. So our fourth menu is this one here, attack systems view. Now, I don't believe we can do anything with this quite yet, because of course we haven't really got any, as it says, their shield facilities, any ops or any turrets either. But maybe when we get into a little bit of combat, which, I mean, hopefully we'll see at some point, right? I can't quite mess it up that badly. Well, then again. So after that, we've got the tactical map. And if we press that, it'll basically just zoom us out to the maximum zoom level for our local map. So you can just do that manually by scrolling in and out, right? And from there, we can see a little bit more clearly what we've got. So we've got a derelict ship down here. We don't entirely know what's on that. That's just a symbol for derelict ship. We've then got an ice asteroid, a Hyperion asteroid, and a blue Energium asteroid. That's probably a much more of a helpful overview if you're, say, in combat, so you can see everything at a glance a bit better, eh? Data logs will show us our messages. Right now, we've only got the apocalypse, which is a little bit of backstory to Spacehaven. Began in the 21st century. Humanity made great strides in that century, but so much damage had already been done that so much of it was invisible too. When the insect population collapsed, food crops and biodiversity both suffered. Without those, ecosystems all over the globe suffered. By the time we curtailed our CO2 emissions, there were too few trees to sequester the excess. Everybody died. The end. A nice, happy story there to start off Spacehaven. So yeah, it's set in the kind of near-distant future after the slow collapse of humanity because of lack of resources. So now we're in space, hoarding resources. Final tab is our research tree, believe it or not, and this is quite nice. Remold with Research Pal. Again, I'm sorry if I make the comparison a lot, but it's why the game was recommended to me in the first place, right? Because of the similarity there. So it's somewhat unavoidable. You see that we've got all sorts of things to research here. Probably, I would assume you'd be able to absolutely get everything in a playthrough here. You've got weapons console, shields console, autopsy tables. Now you've got my attention even more. 40 basic research. Oh, so there's some sort of currency behind it. Won't worry about it for the time being. That's something for the future. I assume it's probably just going to explain everything I've explained anyway. So just below that menu bar is a more kind of granular ship management system, so we can switch between the entire fleet or single vessel. So in this case, we'll go for the HSS Ophelia. You can see that we've got system points, and I assume that's the carry capacity. We've got no storage, maybe. Oh yeah, it does say there's ship storage full, so we'll probably have to build something to handle that. You can see all of the resources on this ship. Now, the cool thing is, this has some really unique ways to handle resources, by which I mean, you could say set up a ship to be a storage ship, a carrier, except another ship to, say, be a factory vessel or something like that. And there are ways that you can set it up to automatically, well, you can even manually, as we see here, transfer resources between vessels. You can even set up rules to allow for auto transferring of resources between ships. That's relevant because in your, sorry, let me zoom back in here. Because with your display, you can change what is exactly shown. So say, for example, we've got this ship here, right? And this ship doesn't deal with tasty nuts and seeds. You can disable that from that and really just only focus on the important things. There's a lot of almost, I don't want to use the term min-maxing, but a lot of UI control as well, which I really, really like. So while we've only got one ship to play around with, we might as well make that the the largest size for the time being so we can see everything. And you can adjust the amount of visible crew members. We've only got 4. I assume that is maybe 4 if you've got a big fleet full of lots and lots of people. I actually do genuinely really like the idea of having lots of ships, each kind of specialized. That way you can build specialist kind of destroyer ships on the front line that don't carry resources. You don't have to worry about them, you know, being destroyed and losing anything in the process. Similarly, you've got your big kind of carrier ships, your motherships, I guess, for lack of a better word, that you keep at the back to actually hold all of your things on. Keep your colonists safe and things like that. Very cool. Okay. We've also got crew settings here, which allows us to view our crew, which, funnily enough, we can see right there. And then some other settings too there. I'm going to leave everything at default for the time being, and I assume the game will tell us things as we plow on. Again, these just show what is in our current system. Up here, we've got days, current time on the schedule. I actually really like the ability to see that, so you can see that they're partly through their sleep schedule, and then they'll go to the next thing. Pause, and it comes with speed 4 by default, so you extra points there for Space Haven. Now, before we dive on with our objectives, let's just cover the last little bit of the UI so that we know what everything does here. Again, mainly for my own benefit. So down in the bottom right, we've got the building menu, which allows us to build, well, everything we're ever going to need. We've got an almost Sims-style wall and roofs toggle button, so we can play with walls up if you prefer to see the outside of the ship. I know in the next update, they're actually adding some tools to kind of decorate the exterior with your ship. We'll play with that one. I quite like that one where we've got the back wall visible, but without the front wall, or you can play with walls down entirely. It's kind of 4 toggles there. So keep that one enabled. Then we've got roofs as well, so you can put the roof on your ship, or in this case, our really ugly box of a space station. And then right next to that is the view modes button, and this gives you a lot of useful information, stuff that you're going to need to know. Say there's an issue with your ship, this would be the quickest way to diagnose it, right? So we've got things like vents, we've got things like water vapor, hazardous gases, CO2, all that kind of, you know, decently relevant stuff that I'm probably going to end up ignoring and then complaining when all my people die. This one I thought was pretty interesting. So you've got to be very kind of mindful about what you're placing where, especially relative to where your people are going to kind of hang out and sleep in their downtime. So for comfort, you see everything's red besides this. The reason this area is slightly nicer, even though it's all just metal tiles and metal walls, is because it's further away from the generators. So being closer to these could make them far more upset. So you do have to kind of, you can't just chuck it like a battery in the bedroom. You do have to be a little bit more considerate about your people's comfort, which I do kind of like. That's a little bit of natural difficulty, for lack of a better word. We'll start with the tutorial then. Build a tools facility. This facility will transform resources to recharge your crew members' building tools. Okay. Essential for any type of building. It constantly makes noise and requires power to operate. So again, ties into the comfort thing I was talking about there. So build menu, objects, resource, tool, facility. Let's get that thrown down as soon as possible. Where do you want to put you? I guess if we want to focus on maybe making this the comfort corner for a good old Fat Larry, let's throw this down here then. We might as well make better use of the real estate because they've done a really shit job of putting that there. Can we reinstall that maybe? You can see the range. Oh, interesting. So maybe it provides power to a larger range, but in turn obviously produces more discomfort and noise and whatever else. It's kind of nice. You can see the jobs associated with that facility. So I assume workbenches, you'll be able to set up various different jobs for that. The overview as well. Being heart of your ship transforms Energirium into power to supply the facilities. Priority 1 highest. So is that for refueling then? Oh, that's a really, really great system. So if you've got a lot of things that need Energirium, but say some are for, I don't know, recreation. We're going to refuel Fat Larry's TV. We can swap it into the lowest priority there so the ship's power doesn't go out. Okay, that's actually quite nice. There they go. Old Fat Larry in Sherwood Forest about to go and work on our tool bench right there. Nice work. So instead of recharging their tools then, I wonder how you can find out. Let's actually click on one of our colonists and go through the screen there. Great optimal gas conditions. Never going to be with old Fat Larry on board. Yeah, I really love that you can see the schedule that this particular person has set up. It will make having multiple different schedules for people, say kind of asymmetric schedules, a lot easier at a glance. And that one, does that do anything? Or just is a schedule icon? Fine. Carrying to facilities, so we can see what he's doing there as well. His mood is decently high. He's in good health. He's a little bit tired and he's got plenty of oxygen. There you go. There's a bit more of a fine breakdown there. We can see his skill sheet. 93. Okay, so we've got to worry about comfort, safety. Spacesuit fatigue. Let's be in a spacesuit all the time. Okay, so when we get the gas set up, then they'll be a lot happy about that. Got it. Social is absolutely fine, and his health is okay. The higher the zest, the higher your base health. Got it. Okay. Conditions? Craving for carbohydrates. Classic Fat Larry. What a guy. Also an uncomfortable environment. That's fine. But like I said, we'll maybe put down some walls around here and cut it off and turn it into comfort corner or something like that. No personal relationships right now. We'll have to wait for them to start becoming friends, and absolutely no gear whatsoever. Override schedule settings. Oh, just directly. Oh, that's really, really nice. That's a great feature. So if he's super, super stressed out, rather than, say, replacing the schedule with nothing but free time, we can just say, hey, for a few hours, take a break. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, got it. Probably shouldn't have done that quite yet. Hang on, let's go ahead and set that back to the way it should be. And then we can also draft him up, and then obviously a drafted colonist you have fine control over. You can send them wherever you want. You might as well on a kind of, we are on a square-based grid system again. Anyway, sorry for interrupting, Fat Larry. You get back to work. What are these guys doing? They're just pretending to work. It does say work above their head, but I don't think they've actually, yeah, idling. It's a shame there isn't like an obvious way to tell on this bar if they are idling or anything like that. But that's okay. We won't worry about it for the timing. So let's create some optimal gas conditions. An oxygen generator and a gas scrubber. Removes CO2, smoke, toxic gases from the air, and produces carbon and raw chemicals. Needs only electricity to operate. So our power grid, I did see something about that in this menu here. So here you are. Our power grid we can view with this button. We can see the high producers of power, and then none also seems to cover up with, also seems to have a bit of a crossover there with consuming as well. So 0.2 a second, 0.1 a second to power the storage? Really? Okay, fair enough. See all of our various things there. So that produces 189. What is that 0.1? Power availability. Oh, so the power generator also consumes power. Well, I mean, you got to keep those green lights going somehow, eh? I think all we're really going to take a glance at is just kind of this area here, the stored, generating, and consuming there. So we're generating 2/10 per second, consuming 3.4 per second. So we've got a net positive of 2 then I think we can take from that. Fine, let's go ahead and make ourselves some life support. So gas scrubber, 3 a second. Does that mean we need to put down another generator? It's only generating 2/10. Maybe that's 2 out of 10, as in it hasn't got enough fuel to make enough power, perhaps. Not entirely sure. Rotate counterclockwise. So Q and E is rotate. Okay, fair enough. Let's try and keep all this stuff together, like I said. It would be good to keep all of our industry in kind of one zone that we can focus on making the other side of the ship a bit more comfortable. We'll throw that down as well. There we are. I actually really like the aesthetic of it. I don't know why. It gives me kind of, Command and Conquer vibes a little bit. All Fat Larry and Sherwood Forest have the oxygen scrubber and oxygen producer online. Some part of your ship is unreachable. Oh, so back there is unreachable. Got it. Try to resolve all these issues. They might stop some of the tasks from functioning. I mean, we know they don't, so it doesn't really matter too much. So ignore that for the time being. Maybe... No, see, that one's got... it does highlight the area in front of it there where it needs to be interacted with, I assume. So we haven't got to worry about that at all. Okay, let's worry about this in a second. Is that working fine? Let's go and look at our power grid again. Just make sure I'm interpreting that correctly. Yeah, see, our power is draining now. Oh, and it seems to fluctuate too. Maybe depending on what is necessary. So if you've got more than enough oxygen, maybe this won't use it too much. Weird. But that is... No, it's not draining. Consuming 3.4. Active. Idling. Oh, it's not active all the time. I was right. Okay, fair enough. So if you've already got plenty of oxygen, it doesn't need to scrub or clean anything from the air. It's not going to use any power. So it is going to drain over a long period of time, but for the time being, maybe not really panic-worthy or anything like that. Cannot raise oxygen levels, build more oxygen generators. Do we really need to build more oxygen generators, really? I think we're fine for the... Oxygen's good, right? I don't actually have to worry about that. No, we're fine. Build a thermic regulator. Ah, here we go. Very nice. Thermic regulator. The right temperature is essential for people to survive on a ship. So we've got the heat control and wall thermal regulator. I guess one is just wall... It's a heater. Do you want a heater on the floor or do you want it on the wall? Got it. Okay, fair enough. We've already got one of those right there, but I guess it's because maybe it's still quite cold in here. The temperature scale in this case is Kelvin. I'll be honest, I might put it back to Celsius, because I don't really use Kelvin very much in my regular day-to-day life. It's kind of hard to get a concept of it. The default is Celsius, because they're very sensible like that. Apologies, those of you who use Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, but for me to be able to play this and understand what the hell's going on, it would be nice to have kind of a sensible living system. According to the temperature map, we are 22 degrees now. That is room temperature, very literally. Well, it says build a thermal regulator, so I'll trust it on that one. Fair enough. I think there's a way to skip over it, so we'll throw one of these down. I guess we'll throw one down on the other side. Like I said, I might want to build some walls around this and turn it into an area of comfort. So if we put it there, we can kind of encapsulate that with the wall and keep the bedrooms nice and toasty. Object not on power grid. So how do we connect that then? Let's go... Hang on. Wait, I can figure this out. No, don't tell me. Well, okay. Fine, do tell me. The mystery is ruined. We want to go to power, and then wall power node. Distribute power to nearby facilities and lights can be linked to other nodes. Open up the power view mode and see how well your power grid is set up. Okay. So that has to be within a certain... Oh, got it. Okay, and we can also build in floor ones. Oh, I quite like that. That's kind of fun. So if we put that there, that can cover everything, correct? I assume it can connect to that. I wonder if it has to be within the kind of radius of that. I know it's a square. Don't correct me. Got to be very annoyed if I've built that one block over and now I have to build another one like over here. Can we just reinstall it? Is that possible? Move. Yeah, we can. Let's just go ahead and throw that down there. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. The power not linked. So then we go link to... Link a power node. Power node is capable of expanding the reach of the power generator by a power generator. Reach of power generated by a power generator. Power is transferred from one power node to another via links. Got it. So bi-directional. Is it really worth it? We could go like one-way link from... No, not from there to there. No. That's completely wrong. Okay, let's reinstall that there. And then everything is fine. Power not linked. No, it's not at all. Let's go in from there, correct? Out to there. No. Out to there. Okay, hold on. Out to... You have to click the icon. Got it. Right, and then we go to you, and then we say... How do we link that then, I wonder? No power. Oh, there we are. Okay, it just does it automatically. It's anything in that area will just automatically. You don't have to link up separate machinery. Got it. Build lights so your crew can see. Don't think we really need an explanation for that one, do we? Okay, let's throw down a couple of wall lights by default. 10 out of 10. You've already won me over. Everything else from here is just bonus points. Wall lights aren't very efficient, though, are they? That's actually pretty horrible. Expand the spaceship's hull. Oh, no. Here we go. It's where poor old Fat Larry gets sucked out into space and we never see him again. So the edit button is right here. Set slave area. Set prisoner area. Build hull. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. So, let's expand it out. I mean, I guess we'll go in this direction slightly because of this edge and this edge, right? That is our airlock, so I assume you can't build a hull there. Otherwise, it kind of defeats the point of having an airlock, right? So, let's throw it out this way, then. I see. Tack it on like that. Okay, that's fine. If we put it across like there, it'll also get rid of that annoying exclamation mark, won't it? So is that all we need? So it doesn't have any sort of resource. Cost to build there is 19.2. We got 36 hull blocks. Fine, okay. And how do we confirm that? We just close the menu, perhaps? Absolutely not. Oh, no. No, that seems to have worked fine. Two of them just got in pods and flew off. Old Fat Larry and Gristle. Oh, they're under the ship. How do I see under the ship? I have no idea. Is this upside down now? No, this is just on top of the ship, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I'd really like to see Fat Larry and Gristle working on that. Oh, sorry, Fat Larry and Sherwood Forest working on that, but I guess you just have to imagine. View it in your mind. There he is. Look, I'm not any sort of qualified individual, otherwise I wouldn't be on YouTube, but that does not seem to be the best way. Water vapor, O2. Okay, it's sealed. It's sealed. I trust him. Okay, don't doubt old Fat Larry. He's the man out there building the walls of our spaceship. I think that's quite a rude thing to do. Oh, there we are. They're coming back, I guess, to rest for the evening, eh? Crew requires beds and toilet. Okay. Beds for your crew under furniture bed category, and then objects facility X1 toilet. Right, let's go to objects then. Bunk beds? Hey, we've got bunk beds. Game of the year. Let's throw a couple of those down. And then the toilet. You know what? We could move that over there a little bit so it's a bit more comfortable. I don't know if they can get in like that, though. Hold on. Let me rearrange things a little bit. Oh, that's just, I mean, that's just straight up an open toilet. I'm going to put that right next to Fat Larry's bed. You're welcome. I assume they're going to complain because of a lack of privacy or something trivial like that. There we go. Fat Larry's still out there working on the external walls. Sherwood Forest has got the beds built. So, object not on power grid. Power for your toilet? Really? You know what? Fine. I'm going to put it right here facing the beds. Yeah, there we are. That's a lot better. Let's make a show of it. They need some entertainment. What is that? Day 1.21? Is that the first of the... Or it's just day 1... 22 hours, I guess. Okay, fair enough. Ship entered sector. The CNHS Indefatigable. Is that the... That's just a salvage ship. Right, got it. Okay. I hadn't noticed it up to that point. Please don't be angry at me. I'm going to override old Fat Larry's schedule by a couple of hours. I'll put him back in a second just to see if he will move that toilet. Or not at all. Did I not confirm that? No, don't go outside. Old Fat Larry. No, no, no. I need you to work on the... I need you to work on the bathroom. Well, whatever, he's out there now. We might as well let him work. Just Gristle and old Fat Larry hanging around having a chat. Are they really not at all upset by that? Oh, they were queuing. Oh, you know what? That's way more civilized than I gave them credit for. Let me just take a look here. Major discomfort. Feeling very uncomfortable. It's affecting my mood in a big way. I probably would be... Yeah, I'd probably be too there. Comfortable environment, minus 72, and she's lonely. Oh, and for a little bit of a breakfast snack. Oh, you can see the food in the storage there. Oh, that's quite cool. They're gonna be angry because they ate without... You son of a bitch, I see what you're doing. Just when I thought I was free of such war crimes. Ate too much? You greedy pig. We're on a fucking spaceship with finite resources. Okay, toilet's finally being reinstalled. There we go. Thank you, Sherwood Forest. Nice. There we are, the porcelain throne. Fantastic. Capable of transforming human waste into usable water, with the exception of old Fat Larry. You can mulch that down and turn it into torpedoes. What's wrong with this one? Can I raise oxygen levels? Oh yeah, you're fine. Oxygen levels are already absolutely fantastic. Don't worry about that. I feel like I might have expanded the ship by a little bit too much, but honestly, maybe we give everyone their own bedroom. Why not go a bit decadent with things to start off with? Oh! What do you mean incoming ship? Next turn. Oh, crap. Are turns then in our blocks? Evidently not. What does that mean? Next turn. Can we see on the galaxy map? Oh, we can. What is that? Oh, that's cool. I actually really like that. And then we've got a kind of vague idea for what's going on in the adjacent sector. Oh, that's so interesting. I'm actually a massive fan of that. Okay, so we've got some sort of ship coming in. Not entirely sure what. There he is! Who is that? Is that Old Fat Larry? Oh, I love your spaceship, Old Fat Larry. So let's get this kitchen module. So build a kitchen module all algae dispenser. So algae dispenser, I assume, is your automated meal solution where you don't have to deal with it, but they're going to be upset because they're eating algae. The other being the kitchen. Something that requires somebody to obviously work in there, but I guess will produce meals. Just an educated guess based on absolutely no other precedent set by anything else ever. So let's go to the food tab then. Honestly, algae dispenser for the time being. Old Fat Larry could do with the nutrients. By which I mean, not a pizza. Ship entered sector, a mass sky digger. Hello? Oh, there you are. Whoa. That thing's sizable. As you can see their airlock there. Obviously, I have no idea what's going on with it. Can we, like, hail them or something? Hello? Well, obviously not. We haven't got... What am I going to do? Send Fat Larry over in his mining ship? Got to build a water purifier next. Okay. Objects and resources. Water purifier. I wonder what that does. If I see a single comment explaining to me what a water purifier does, you're banned forever. Don't ever come back. Mine an asteroid. Oh my god, that's a step up. Okay. You know, I really think my talents were wasted on YouTube. I think all this time I should have been some sort of space engineer, for lack of a better word. I'm a little bit annoyed they didn't quite finish the walls. I might take Sherwood and, just give him a few more hours here. Okay, there you go. You get back to work. Old Fat Larry, I'm going to give you 6 hours of work as well. Sorry, my friend, but this is kind of important. If you guys can get that done, we can start working on actual bedrooms. Or not. What am I doing wrong there? You just do it like that, and then... Oh, I'm minimizing it. If you minimize it, it stops the override. So that way, if you... Right, okay, got it. So if you want to reset it, you just remove that. They're so close to being finished, we might as well get that tidied up, then we can build some internal walls, maybe get some beds built. Well, specific bedrooms, not just bunk beds in the middle of adjacent to a giant toilet. So let's pop down a few beds. So let's assume they need a block to get into bed. That can be a wall. That can be a bed. Block, wall, bed. Block, wall, no. Empty, wall, bed. It still works fine. I think this wall fits with the aesthetic the most. So we'll go with some of these. They drag. Oh yeah, they're drag walls. Fantastic. So let's do something like that then. Oh, it's a line tool by default. So you can go on the diagonal without having to try and work it out yourself. Okay, that's really helpful. So I thought now that we've got water and food and everything else dealt with, I'd throw down a couple of walls here and a couple of bathrooms too. Let me drop the walls down a level so you can see each bedroom. Very basic. It's a bed in a room. What more do you want? With a couple of power nodes there just so that we can link the power up. Of course, linked back to another node there in range of the generator. So that's kind of interesting that the generator can only piggyback to a certain amount of nodes before it becomes too many. So doing this is actually not a bad idea at all. We'll go ahead and straight remove this one. Oh, well, actually, maybe we won't remove that one because for the time being, it's probably pretty good. But you're going to have to make sure that every really, before you build a whole new power node, you should really make sure you've used up the connections from your previous power nodes first, if that makes sense. There we go. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm starting to get to grips with the basic aspects of it. Of course, we haven't done any of the shipbuilding, any combat traveling, mining, anything yet. But the combat, the actual building itself is pretty intuitive. I wouldn't say simple, because you do have to consider things like, you know, as we saw, oxygen, carbon removal, power linking, things like that. But it does seem, it seems pretty easy maybe when you've got the hang of it. Can't really speak to it too much quite yet, but I actually really like the look of this. Let me know what you think. I'm happy to continue with this as a full-on series and really see what troubles we can get up to out here in the galaxy. Maybe we could become some sort of warlord slaver. Maybe we can go for a more down-to-earth, no pun intended, trader. I'm not entirely sure. I'll leave it up to you guys. The power's in your hands. Let me know what you think, and go and have a look at Space Haven. I genuinely think if you enjoy RimWorld, you will enjoy a game like this, which is to say very similar in concept. Obviously different, very different in execution, but similar on a foundational level. So there's a nice amount of crossover there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you guys don't want to see it in series, I'll be honest with you, I'm just going to play it off camera. So it doesn't make any difference to me either way. Thank you all for watching. Please ignore my currently unrebranded end screen credits and whatnot. I will work on those whenever I get 30 seconds to my life. Thank you in the meantime to the executive producer, patrons of that, which I would not have time to produce. 7, oh no, oh god, edited videos a day, oh god, my head. Thank you to Jusada, Zaka, Kane, Dan, Encra Slave, Gogolus, Bloodsnakes Chaos, Elite IMP, Ken and Carter, Hoofenspiel, Bacon Kitten, Officer Pappy, Lorez Grail, Bauman, and Armac1955 for their support, the executive producer, patrons, tiers. How do I normally say that? Over on Patreon. It doesn't really matter too much. I'm thinking about all the great ship designs I can build. Thank you as well to Don, Blood for the Blood God, Flight Gamer, Jordan, JC Sly 91, Lazy Panda, Salakata, Irotha, Red Noah, Asero, Sparky Fan 1, Bo, Thora, Luke Jordan, Gray, and Frobear.